arrival. We hope you're getting the idea now. And on the agenda, on the third day, another solid 100 kilometres. That's 60 miles of off-road rough riding. The Bavarians were the first to start, but on an extremely steep ascent, everybody else catches up. Nico Klaus, the best rider among them, ends up thrashing almost all the bikes as far as possible up the slope, before letting go in his splendid imitation of Californian dune riding. However, Jörg Steenbok is the only man who won't let his Husaberg out of his own hands, and he ends up paying the penalty with this spectacular loop out. Run for cover, Jörg. Mr. Klaus finishing the job he started, and a little bit further along the path there's another rope crossing. The Bavarians were able to pull out in front again once they'd got up the steep ascent, and now they're the first to attempt this crossing. This guy must be a member of the Territorial Army down in Aldershot or something. What an amazing bravado. Does he do this every day? Then the first motorbike is sent across. But in their hectic rush, they forgot to give their teammate the tow line. So he's going to have to go back and get it, and that costs the Bavarians precious time. I think going across that ravine once would be quite enough for me, thank you. Well done, sir. Germany 1 running in second. They sent the tow line across with their teammate, so they've only got one man on the other side, and he can't get the bike over the ledge on his own. The Austrians get everything right. Two men across the other side with the tow line, then the bike. The Swiss make the same mistake as Germany 1. The man over here isn't a brawny Bavarian, doesn't look like he's built to lift motorbikes, so the team is going to have to send someone else over. And so things progress up into the mountains. The paths are all steep, tricky and intensely strenuous. There is still a murderous 70 kilometres, that's 43 miles to the finish line, up to those snowy heights of the Pyrenees, 6,600 feet above sea level. There must be moments when these guys feel like they're just never going to make it. Now we're about 20 kilometres, that's just 13 miles, unlucky for some, from the finish line, and the Bavarians are still out in front, but struggling. Can you understand German? Thankfully I can't, but I think I know what he's saying. Ah, a helping hand, that's what we need. Eventually, sheer exhaustion leads to this rather touching display of male bonding rarely seen amongst macho Bavarians. Get off me, get off me. Right, third man up, remember, all three guys have got to make it to the finish. And it's the last man home that is the man who counts. So it's no good going off and leaving this poor character. You've got to haul him up to the drink as well. Or rather, up these extremely Marlborough countrified rocks here. Chasing the Bavarians up the trail is the competition, Germany 1. They are having an easier time on the mule path, but they've lost teammate Jörg Steenbok. He got stuck in a mud hole and flooded his bike so badly, he's going to have to unscrew everything inside to get it running again. His teammates helped him out at first, but then it was taking too long, and they decided to get at least 2 guys across the finishing line. But that's going to cost them 10 penalty hours if Steenbok gets his bike running in time. Perhaps he can ride out the race and try to minimise the damage. But 10 hours, 10 penalty hours if he doesn't make it. Running in 3rd position, the Austrians now with a sniff of 2nd, but the Swiss also are catching up closer and closer despite their time penalty. This is it, fellas, the top or bust, and we haven't even reached the snow line yet. Yep, this is what Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid would have looked like if they had motorbikes back then. And here it is, 6,600 feet above sea level, the end of all the torment and torture. And Andy Zimmerer with his Team Germany 2 and his Husqvarnas is the first to reach the summit. Yes, lay that bike down, boy, practice your ice racing. Not exactly confident, but winners nonetheless. But they're going to be encumbered by the 10-hour penalty because dear old Steenbok does never show up. Four-stroke Thunder makes it swimmingly to the top, dives into the snow. Meantime, the battle between the Austrians and the Swiss is hotting up. Despite their penalty, the Swiss have caught up to within 4 minutes of their closest rivals, and now every foot counts. Your team's not across the finish line until your last rider has made it over, and this is true team spirit. The Austrians eventually make it by just 3 minutes. And this results in another startling display of burly bonding.